Hi there. In this video, I'd like to talk about when escape behavior is really difficult to block. So, one of the four functions of behavior that we talk about in ABA is escape. And what that means is when you tell another person to do something and then they have behaviors to get out of that task, we would call that escape behavior. So, examples of that sometimes kids will run away, they'll hide under their bed or a couch or things like that in order to not have to do the task. Some kids will argue and debate in order to avoid things like that. So, I want to talk about some common strategies that we use to help kids get out of that. So, one common thing that we do is use a first then visual. Sometimes we just say it verbally. First, you need to do this task that I told you to do, then we can do the fun thing that you wanted to do. But you will not be doing anything else until you complete this task first. Other times, we just hold the visual up with pictures or words saying, this is what I want you to do first. When you complete that, you can do this. And so for some of our kiddos, taking the words out, not talking to them, and just holding up a visual can be really helpful, and that can increase their compliance. So that's a helpful strategy. Sometimes we simply have to follow the child and bring the task to them. So they might run away to their bedroom. So fine, we're going to do homework in your bedroom then if that's where you're going to go. You know, if they crawl under the bed, that's okay. You can do homework under your bed. You know, so the task keeps going wherever they go. Sometimes that helps the kids that we work with understand they're not getting an escape and they can run away if they want, but the task is just going to keep coming to them. Sometimes it's helpful to use a strategy called behavioral momentum. And what that means very simply is that if we get somebody on a track of saying yes to things, they're more likely to say yes to the next thing. So you can help a child switch gears simply by asking them to do things you know they'll do that's super easy. Touch your nose, give me high five, do the wiggles. Okay, now answer the next question. You know, so sometimes we can get kids switching gear if we can change that momentum. They might be on a no momentum, and so if we choose tasks and things like that, in order to like switch gears in their mind, that can get them out of that and help them complete the task. One thing that I want to reiterate is that sometimes that waiting a child out on escape behavior can take hours. It can take a really long time. If that's the case, it's super important that you don't give up, because every time that you don't give up, the next time that situation occurs, it's going to be easier for you. A really important thing to understand though is that it takes a lot of repetitions for a child's behavior to change. So if a child has a history of escape behavior for a long time, when you start doing this, when you start blocking the escape, it's going to take a while before the kid quits resisting and quits doing that problem behavior. You have to do a lot of repetitions for them to really learn that they're not going to get escape and it's not worth trying. So don't give up. Sometimes it might take hours, sometimes it might take months of repetition before the behavior goes away, but if you stick to it, the research is so consistent on it'll work. So the higher consistency, the faster it'll work. So hang in there. It can be tough sometimes, but it's really effective. So, all right, thanks for listening.